Hello and welcome to News of the Hour. I'm Ankita Mukherjee and you're watching youtube.com/NDTV. Now, every day we focus on the day's biggest stories and put out a poll in the morning where we ask you, the viewer, to vote on the story that you want to know more about. And of course, then we devote our resources and our research to deep diving into that particular story to bring you more details and more facts about that. Well, this morning, this was our list of stories that we put out today. The headlines of the day: Citizenship Amendment Bill set to get cabinet nod. It has in fact got the cabinet nod now, and 62% of our viewers voted to hear more about the Citizenship Amendment Bill that the government is now talking about as one of its key priorities. In fact, as important, the government has said, as the abrogation of Article 370, which ended special status for Jammu and Kashmir. So a little more then about what the Citizenship Amendment Bill sets out to do. Now, there is an existing Citizenship Bill of 1955, and this bill seeks certain critical amendments in that bill, but the opposition insists that it will change the way India functions. It will in fact change the way the Constitution upholds the rights of equality for every citizen. Well, what are we talking about? The Citizenship Amendment Bill seeks to grant Indian citizenship to people from 6 communities: Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Parsis, Jains and Buddhists from 3 countries: Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Now, these are people who have migrated to India without valid travel documents or whose travel documents have now expired. The bill, as we said, seeks to amend a 1955 law to grant exemptions to illegal migrants from these 6 communities who reached India on or before December 2014. The opposition says in one voice that this bill targets Muslims. That's the only significant community that is left out of that list and is at odds with the secular principles that are enshrined in the Indian Constitution, because it excludes just one specific community. According to critics, the move is in fact a violation of Article 14 of the Indian Constitution, which guarantees the right to equality. So, the Citizenship Act of 1955, if we go back in history a bit, and let's in fact show you what we mean by that. The Citizenship Act of 1955 says that those seeking citizenship must have lived in India in the 12 months before their application and for 11 months of the previous 14 years. The amendment that we're talking about now, which is going to face Parliament's test very soon, actually seeks to relax the second requirement from 11 years to 6 years for non-Muslim applicants from the 3 neighboring countries: Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Reports are also suggesting that there could be other revisions to clearly differentiate in this new bill between those who are illegal immigrants and those who took shelter in India after facing religious persecution in Pakistan, Afghanistan and Bangladesh. Well, the reasoning over there is that these are primarily Islamic countries, so those who face religious persecution over there are from the smaller religious communities, and therefore Muslims can't be included in that group. Now, what we do know is that this was already brought to the Lok Sabha in January 2018. The Lok Sabha then sent it to a parliamentary standing committee, and which looked at those amendments in greater detail. The Lok Sabha, where the government has a brute majority, then passed the Citizenship Amendment Bill. But it was then sent to the Rajya Sabha, but before that, the Parliament session ended, which means that since it hasn't been passed in the Rajya Sabha, that bill has lapsed. Today, what has happened? Well, the Union Cabinet has given its nod to the Citizenship Amendment Bill, and we hear that Parliament is going to see this bill being tabled very, very soon. Now, this could in fact happen actually within the next 2 to 3 days. Certainly, it is expected anytime in this week or the next. Once that happens, the Lok Sabha, remember, is where the government has a massive majority. So once again, the Citizenship Amendment Bill is likely to sail through the Lok Sabha, the Rajya Sabha is going to be where it faces a critical test. Now, it's not just the opposition, for instance, the parties that regularly take on the government, which of course include the Congress, the Trinamool Congress, the DMK, the Samajwadi Party, the left parties, the RJD. They have all already put their opposition to the Citizenship Amendment Bill on record. But they also believe that there are other parties that could join them in this specific instance, because this bill could be problematic even for the AIADMK, even for allies of the government or parties like the Biju Janata Dal. Now, of course, that Rajya Sabha test is going to be critical for it. Now, the government has already indicated, in fact, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, speaking at the BJP's parliamentary party meeting on Tuesday, told BJP MPs that they must now be present in Parliament, because this bill is top of the agenda really for this government, and as we said, as important as the abrogation of Article 370, which ended special status for Jammu and Kashmir, was to them. So BJP MPs have been told, you have to be in Parliament, you have to ensure the smooth passage of this bill. So that's something that we can expect to now see very, very soon indeed. Now, remember, on the 1st of October, Home Minister Amit Shah had controversially said that the government would carry out a national register of citizens similar to the one that was carried out in Assam across the country. Now, while announcing that nationwide NRC exercise, he had said in Parliament that the NRC has no such provision which says that certain religions will be excluded from it. Now, we do know that all citizens, irrespective of religion, will figure on the NRC list. He said the NRC is different from the Citizenship Amendment Bill. That's what the Home Minister has said. But as I said, certain revisions are expected to this bill, to the original Citizenship Act of 1955, which might in fact differentiate illegal immigrants from those who were religious, faced religious persecution, and therefore could get citizenship under the Citizenship Amendment Bill. And that's why so many people are now raising questions about this. So what else do we really know at this point about the Citizenship Amendment Bill? Well, let's take a look at some of the other key points of this. Well, one thing that we've been reporting for some time is that people in the Northeast have been very vehemently opposing that bill. So what are they saying? Well, they're saying that the Citizenship Amendment Bill, if it grants citizenship to foreign refugees, then it could undermine the ethnic communities that are living in these regions in the Northeast. There are indications that the government is now working out a compromise that will allay the fears and anxieties of the people of the Northeast. And formulations like the provision of citizenship not leading to residency status in the Northeast states is something that the government is obviously going to be looking at. But those protests continuing even as these moves to bring the Citizenship Amendment Bill and to get it cleared in Parliament are now being fast-tracked by the government. There's one party in particular, the BJP's own ally, the AGP, that has now taken a U-turn on the Citizenship Amendment Bill. In January last year, the AGP, in fact, had pulled out of the NDA after the Lok Sabha passed the earlier version of the bill. When the bill lapsed in the Lok Sabha, the AGP returned to the alliance, and now the AGP has said that we have to move forward with the reality. Neither can we expel lakhs of illegal migrants, nor is Bangladesh going to take them back. We've had our government twice in the past, but we couldn't even identify the illegal migrants, etc., etc. So this is going to be critical really going forward. The bill, as we're saying, expected to be taken up in Parliament next week, and what happens then is really going to be a crucial test now of what steps this government now takes in its way forward. Thanks for watching News of the Hour. Remember, you can tune in to youtube.com/NDTV for all the latest.